Welcome to Noun Tutorial TV. Like, share and subscribe. Gst104 Use of Library Summary. ILO stands for Intended Learning Outcomes. IITA stands for International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. The following are the various types of libraries. Academic libraries. Research/special libraries. School libraries. Public libraries. National libraries. The French word librairie means library. The Latin word book is liber. In Latin and Greek, the idea of bookcase is represented by bibliotheca. In French-speaking countries, library is called bibliosque. The first libraries contained sheaves of the earliest form of writing, such as clay tablets in cuneiform script discovered in Sumer, dating back to BC 2600. Private or personal libraries consisting of written books appeared in classical Greece in the century BC, 5th. The oldest existing library in the world is found in China. The oldest existing library in China was founded by Fan Qin in the year 1561. Noun Tutorial TV. Tianyi Chamber Library, located in China, had a collection of volumes of antique books, 70,000. The oldest non-personal library on the North America continent was founded at the Jesuit College in Quebec City in 1635. In Latin, means book, liber. In Latin, liber means book. Is an organized collection of resources made accessible to a defined community for reference or borrowing. Library provides physical or digital access to material and may be a physical building or room, or a virtual space, or both. Library. A library's collection can include books, periodicals, newspapers, manuscripts, films, maps, prints, documents, microform, CDs, cassettes, videotapes, DVDs, e-books, audiobooks, databases, and other formats. Library is called in French, bibliosque. Library is called bibliosque in French. According to the earliest discovered private archives were kept at Ugarit, John, 2011. According to John, 2011, the earliest discovered private archives were kept at Ugarit. Private or personal libraries consisting of written books appeared in classical in the 5th century BC, Greece. The oldest existing library in China was Tianyi Chamber Library. Tianyi Chamber Library was founded in 1561. The oldest existing library is found which country? Noun Tutorial TV. China. Tianyi Chamber Library had a collection of volumes of antique books, 70,000. The oldest non-personal library on the North America continent was founded at the Jesuit College in Quebec City in 1635. Are libraries of academic institutions such as universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, academic libraries. The purpose of establishing libraries is to meet the information needs of staff and students in the institutions they belong. Academic. The purpose of establishing academic libraries is to meet the information needs of staff and students in the institutions they belong. Function of academic libraries. Provision of research information resources in line with the needs of the staff and students. Provision of information materials as required for the academic programs of the parent institutions. Provision of information resources for recreation and for personal self-development of users. Provision of specialized information services to appropriate sections of the larger community. Cooperation with other libraries at appropriate level for improved and better information services. Provision of conducive reading environment and facilities. Research libraries are also called special libraries. NISR stands for Nigeria Institute of Social and Economic Research. CRIN stands for Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. SPAC stands for Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization. Functions and services of research/special libraries. Noun Tutorial TV. The functions and resources of the library must be in line with the primary objectives of the parent body of the library. Provision of in-house training activities to new users and staff members alike. Provision and production of bibliographies. Provision of current awareness services, CAT, to the library clienteles. Provision of literature search. Selective dissemination of information, SDI. Provision of other supportive services such as provision of photocopying, printing and document delivery services. Interlibrary loans and network are also provided by special libraries. Special libraries perform some other internal and external services, such as writing of periodic reports, e.g. monthly, quarterly, or annual reports, organizing conferences, seminars, talks for users and outsiders. SDI stands for selective dissemination of information. CA stands for current awareness services. Are libraries that are established in schools and attached to primary and secondary schools, school libraries. School libraries' main objective is to serve the educational needs of pupils, students, and teachers. Functions of school libraries. Collect relevant information resources that will enhance the performance of the teachers as well as the pupils to achieve the aim and objectives of the school education. Develop and create in pupils good reading habits. Help pupils to improve their vocabulary. Support academic or school work. Help teachers and pupils to be current and up to date with daily information sources. Serves as a source of subject information center for both teachers and pupils. Help to train pupils in the use of reference materials. Is a library that is open to everybody and is generally accessible by the public library. There are fundamental characteristics shared by public libraries. 5. The following are fundamental characteristics shared by public libraries. Noun Tutorial TV. The first is that they are generally supported by taxes. They are under a board to serve the public. They are open to all and all community members can access their collections. Public libraries provide basic services without charge. The presence of a library in a community is an indication that the community is literate, public. The presence of a public library in a community is an indication that the is literate, community. The presence of a public library in a community is an indication that the community is literate. The basic difference between a public library and other types of libraries is that the main aim of public library is to provide the information needs of the general public rather than provide the information needs of just a particular school, institution, or research population. The services of the public library are free. Functions and services of public libraries. They cater for the social, educational, and recreational needs of the community. They collect, preserve, and disseminate library resources suitable for different categories of people such as children, adults, literates and illiterates. They usually engage in repackaging of information using audiovisual materials and indigenous languages to render information services to the illiterate class. They promote recreation and leisure reading. They promote the civic and cultural activities of the community. They create and strengthen reading habits in children from childhood. They support both individual and self-conducted education as well as formal education at all levels. They provide adequate information that will improve the knowledge and opinion of the masses. Are specially established by the government of the nation to serve as the preeminent repository of information for that country, national libraries. National libraries rarely allow citizens to borrow books, true. The major mandate of national libraries is to serve as the memory of the nation. Functions of national libraries: to act as the legal depository and bibliographic center of the nation. To give advice or library development or organization to any agency of the federal, state or local government. Now Tutorial TV. To have a responsibility for the national bibliography and development of bibliographic services. The National Library of Nigeria has its headquarters at Abuja. The issues the International Standard Book Number, ISBN, to publishers and authors of books, National Library of Nigeria. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. The basic types of libraries are: academic libraries, research/special libraries, school libraries, public libraries, national libraries. One of these is not a key function of academic libraries, to act as the legal depository and bibliographic center of the nation. The use of library is pertinent to the individual, the society and economic growth of the nation, true. Can only be worthwhile when there is repository of knowledge or information. Research can only be worthwhile when there is repository of or information, knowledge. Research can only be worthwhile when there is repository of knowledge or information. According to a reference service is the personal assistance given by the reference personnel, librarians, to library users in search of information for whatever purpose, Year, 2012. According to Year, 2012, is the personal assistance given by the reference personnel, librarians, to library users in search of information for whatever purpose, reference. Service. Processes involve interviewing the reader to enable the reference librarian to articulate the problem of the user clearly, reference. Noun Tutorial TV. Involves reader questing for a specific location within the library, directional. Is when a reader asks a specific question relating to the use of library materials in the reference sections, ready/quick reference question. Is when the user is faced with a research topic that requires comprehensive reference sources in order to provide literature review, research questions. Stands for Current Awareness Services. Is defined by Ashikuzaman, 2013, as the establishment of a system for reviewing publications immediately at receipt, selecting information pertinent to the program of the organization served, and recording individual items to be brought to the attention of those persons to whose work are related. Current Awareness Service. Defined Current Awareness Service as the establishment of a system for reviewing publications immediately at receipt, selecting information pertinent to the program of the organization served, and recording individual items to be brought to the attention of those persons to whose work are related. Ashikuzaman, 2013. The purpose of Current Awareness Service is to keep users abreast with up-to-date information in their specialized field of interest. Current Awareness Service is not a personalized service, true. Go into partnership and collaboration to enable them share resources, libraries. Libraries go into and collaboration to enable them share resources, partnership. Libraries go into partnership and dash to enable them share resources, collaboration. Libraries go into partnership and collaboration to enable them share dash dash resources. Registration of dash may be manual or computer-based, clientele. To borrow a book, dash form will be filled by the user, borrower's ticket. Noun tutorial TV. OPAC stands for dash dash, Open Access Catalogs. Dash is an electronic catalog, Open Access Catalogs, OPAC. Open Access Catalogs, OPAC, is an dash catalog, electronic. A fine of dash per day will be charged for each day overdue, N100. A fine of N100 per day will be charged for each day dash dash, overdue. The first daily task of the circulation department is dash dash, the shelving of all books consulted by library users the previous day. Dash materials cannot be lent out, reserved. Reserved materials cannot be lent out, true. Personal books from lecturers can be kept for students in the dash room, reserve collection. Dash equips users with adequate knowledge on the use of the library, user education. Dash enables users to effectively and efficiently use the library resources, user education. SDI stands for dash dash, selective dissemination of information. Selective dissemination of information, SDI, service is common in dash libraries, special. The dash librarian maintains a list of referral institutions, reference. Dash is a systematic search for knowledge and information contained in resources of the library on a topic or theme, literature search. Noun tutorial TV. The library dash is the main source for searching for relevant documents, either by author, title, or subject entries, catalog. The main source for searching for relevant documents either by author, title, or subject entries is dash dash, library catalog. A reference service can be best described as the personal assistance given by the reference personnel, libraries, to library users in search of information for whatever purpose. Referral service is when a user is directed to another library, to an alternative source of information if such information is not available in his/her library. Library services are common to all libraries, true. OER stand for dash dash, open educational resources. Dash is important in all human activities, information. Information is important in all human activities, true. According to dictionary.com, dash is knowledge communicated or received concerning a fact or circumstance, information. Oxford Dictionary defined dash as facts provided or learned about something or someone, information. Noun tutorial TV. Oxford Dictionary defined dash as data processed, stored, or transmitted by a computer, information. There are sources of information, 3. There are basically 3 sources of information, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Information is being generated and transmitted by dash on daily basis, individuals. Dash are original materials on which other sources of information are based, primary sources. First-hand accounts and information to events are presented in dash sources, primary. Dash are usually the first formal appearance of results either in print or electronic format, primary sources. Examples of primary sources of information are diaries, letters, print speeches, patents, photographs, newspaper articles, journal articles, theses and dissertations, survey research, proceedings of meetings, conferences, and symposia, original documents, birth certificates, wills, marriage licenses, trial transcripts, records of organizations, government agencies, treaties, annual reports etc., email communications, interviews, video recordings, audio recordings, websites, artifacts, e.g. coins, plant specimens, fossils, furniture, tools, clothing, etc., works of art, architecture, literature, and music, e.g. painting, sculptures, musical scores, buildings, novels, poems. Sources of information are created from primary sources of information, secondary. Sources of information act as pointers to primary and secondary sources, tertiary. In fact, tertiary sources are works that list primary and secondary resources in a specific area. Works which index, organize, and compile citations to secondary sources. Examples of tertiary sources include chronologies, bibliographies, indexes, encyclopedias, and directories. Primary sources are original materials on which other sources of information are based. Which of the following are examples of chronologies, bibliographies, indexes, encyclopedias, and directories? Tertiary sources of information. Noun tutorial TV. Is a critical analysis of related literature to research topic, literature review. Literature review can help a researcher to specifically choose an appropriate research topic. Are vital tools in research which makes the work of referencing at the end of every research very easy. Citation managers. Citation managers are vital tools in research, true. Are digital tools that can assist researchers in organizing, storing, and creating bibliographies of their research process, citation managers. Citation managers allow you to import and organize citation information from article indexes and other sources. Save links to PDFs and other documents, and in some cases save the document itself. Format citations for your papers and bibliographies using APA and many other styles. Include your own note. Examples of citation managers are BibTeX, EndNote, Basic EndNote Desktop, Mendeley, Zotero, and RefWorks Link. Start the writing of your review by indicating the broad problem area while avoiding global statements. Keep the flow of your coherent. Argument. How would you describe literature review? A critical analysis and a summary of all related literature to research topic. Which of the following is the basic step in literature review? Literature identification, analyzing the literature, synthesizing the literature, writing the review. Is a searchable collection of published works, database. Is an electronic, online, catalog or index, database. The helps the researcher to find reliable information from trusted sources. Database. Noun tutorial TV. A database may be dedicated to a single subject or cover several subjects. Some known databases are ABI/Inform, Academic Search, JSTOR, LexisNexis Academic, PSYC/NFO, PubMed/Medline, ScienceDirect, Scopus, Web of Science, Sage, Law Pavilion, Project Muse Journals, Agora, EBSCO, ERIC, Hinari, National Virtual Library, eBrary, Questia, Online Access to Research in the Environment, OARE, etc. Is a multidisciplinary database that provides full text for more than 4,600 journals, including approximately 3,900 peer-reviewed titles. Academic Search Premier. JSTOR is a library founded, digital. JSTOR is a digital library founded in 1995. Is a digital library founded in 1995, JSTOR. JSTOR provides full text searches of almost journals, 2000. Provides mostly full text searches to approximately 5,000 legal, news, Reference and business sources, LexisNexis Academic. LexisNexis Academic provides mostly full-text searches to approximately legal, news, reference and business sources, 5,000. Was developed by the National Library of Medicine, NLM, PubMed. PubMed was developed by the National Library of Medicine, NLM. NLM stands for National Library of Medicine. PubMed has been avoidable since 1996. Contains citation from more than 5,600 scholarly journals around the world, Medline. Noun Tutorial TV. Medline contains citation from more than scholarly journals around the world, 5,600. Provides subscription-based access to a large database of scientific and medical research, Science Direct. Is the largest abstract and citation database of peer-reviewed literature, Scopus. Delivers a broad overview of global interdisciplinary scientific information in science, mathematics, engineering, technology, health and medicine, social sciences, and art and humanities, Scopus. Scopus was launched in the year 2004. Sage journals are access, open. APC stands for article processing charge. Database provides access to collections in the fields of food, agriculture, environmental science, and related social sciences, Agora. Database contains about 918 journals, is designed to enhance the scholarship of thousands of students and researchers in agriculture and life sciences in the developing world, Agora. Is the largest, multidiscipline, full-text database, EBSCO. EBSCO hosts about full-text databases 375. Is the world's most widely used database in education, ERIC. The was set up by WHO and major publishers to enable developing countries have free access to collections in biomedical and health sciences, Health Internetwork Access to Research Initiative, HINARI. HINARI stands for Health Internetwork Access to Research Initiative. Noun Tutorial TV. WHO stands for WHO Health Organization. The Health Internetwork Access to Research Initiative, HINARI, contains about information resources, 58,000. What is the most suitable database for students in social sciences? EBSCO. OER stands for Open Educational Resources. Defined Open Educational Resources, OER, as the open provision of educational resources, enabled by information and communication technologies for consultation, use, and adaptation by a community of users for non-commercial purposes, Johnstone, 2005. Johnstone, 2005, defined as the open provision of educational resources, enabled by information and communication technologies for consultation, use, and adaptation by a community of users for non-commercial purposes, open educational resources, OER. Is commonly referred to as digitized materials offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for teaching, learning and research, open educational resources. Is a subscription-based journal in which some of the articles offer open access, hybrid open access journal. There are main categories of repositories, too. There are basically two main categories of repositories, and subject, specific repositories and institutional repositories. IR stands for institutional repository. Open stands for open access publishing in European networks. PLOS stands for Public Library of Science. Noun Tutorial TV. SSRN stands for the Social Science Research Network. REPEC stands for research papers in economics. BE Press stands for Berkeley Electronic Press. Open educational resources are open provision of digital educational resources for non-commercial purposes. The two main categories of repositories are subject-specific repositories and institutional repositories. Is seen as a complete organized record of all libraries' contents, library catalog. Is a list of all bibliographic items found in a library or group of libraries, library catalog. The library catalog can be likened to a index, book. The library catalog can be likened to a book index. The types of physical form of library catalogs are book catalog, card catalog, microform catalog, online catalog. A lists bibliographic records in alphabetical order by various entries on pages of a book, book catalog. Is the oldest type of catalog. Book catalog. The oldest type of catalog is book catalog. The book catalog is expensive to produce and easily gets out of date due to its inflexibility. Now Tutorial TV. The book catalog is expensive to produce and easily gets out of date due to its inflexibility. True. Book catalog was replaced by card catalogs. The advantages of book catalog. Ease of use. The book catalog is very easy to use by library clientele and it is portable. Size. It is compact and can be easily carried to anywhere within the library. Cost. Once the first copy has been produced, duplication of it becomes cheaper. Multiple copies can be produced for other locations of the library. The disadvantages of book catalog. Ease of use. Only one person can use this catalog at a time, unless multiple copies are produced. Library users may have to wait for each other to have access to the book catalog. Flexibility and currency. Bibliographic records for new materials cannot be inserted. Is a file of cards in catalog cabinet showing the users the library's collections, card catalog. The advantages of card catalog. Flexibility and currency. Updating of the cabinet is easy and staff time is saved. Cards for new materials can be added quickly and cards easily removed for those items no longer in the collection. Ease of use. The card catalog is easy to use. Both staff and students find it easy to use because of the alphabetical arrangement and the fact that they are loose in the tray. Availability. The card catalog is easily available to library users. Several users can have access to the card catalog at the same time. Cost. The cost of maintaining a card catalog is not expensive. The cards are easily available. The disadvantages of card catalog. Size. After some time, the library may need more cabinets for new cards. Gradually, more and more cabinets will be acquired as the collection grows. Human error. Cards can be misfiled in error. Its implication is that the document on the shelf may never be used. Ease of use. A library user can only see a card at a time. Its implication is that he has to remember the title or know the subject heading of the information he needs. Cost. Filing of cards takes time. Imagine if you have catalog in different locations, you may have to do more work. Now Tutorial TV. Flexibility and currency. The library cannot easily effect any correction on the card except the card is reprinted. Are photographed card catalog or screen images that are transferred onto microform catalogs. Microform catalogs are photographed card catalog or screen images that are transferred onto microform. The advantages of microform catalog. Ease of use. Many records can be viewed at the same time. There are indexes and headings to guide users. Size. Microfiche or microfilm takes up very little storage space and can store many records on one fiche or film. Cost. It is cheap to produce multiple copies. The disadvantages of microform catalog. Ease of use. Microform catalog is not common. Students find it difficult to use. Expensive equipment is required for users to have access and use it. Flexibility and currency. New bibliographic records cannot be inserted and records of lost items cannot be deleted. Cost. The first copy of the microform catalog is expensive to produce. There is also the problem of maintaining the equipment. Dash is the most modern form of catalog. Online Public Access Catalog, OPAC. The most modern form of catalog is Online Public Access Catalog, OPAC. OPAC stands for Online Public Access Catalog. Records of all documents in a collection are stored in the computer memory disk, bibliographic. Bibliographic records of all documents in a collection are stored in the computer memory disk. Bibliographic records of all documents in a collection are stored in the memory disk, computer. Bibliographic records of all documents in a collection are stored in the computer. Disk, memory. Noun tutorial TV. Bibliographic records of all documents in a collection are stored in the computer memory disk. The most efficient of all the catalogs is OPAC. OPAC is the most efficient of all the catalogs, true. The main advantages of online catalog are: the database can be searched in almost any item of information of interest to the users. The users can retrieve information in a variety of ways. It provides rapid search. It can be used from far-away location, so that the users can access a local, national, and international cataloging database. The problem of having to file cards is eliminated. Online catalogs can be easily updated. It provides links to other catalogs, reference help, and circulation. Online catalog can also be made physical if need be. The main disadvantages of online catalog are: it is very sensitive in spelling and may retrieve different information due to error. Most times the information retrieved may be too much, which may confuse the user. Training is needed for the users to optimally use online catalog. Epileptic power supply and computer breakdown are all disadvantages. Library catalog can be best described as a list of all bibliographic items found in a library. One of the options below is a unique advantage of online catalog. It can be used from far-away locations, so that users can access a local, national, and international cataloging database. Most libraries keep only one particular type of catalog. Most libraries keep only one particular type of catalog, true. Numerous books acquired in the library must be arranged to their utility to the optimum level, increase. Now tutorial TV. The purpose of library classification is to create a system out of disorder and provide a comprehensive view of the documents on a given subject. The basic aim of librarianship is to bring the user in contact with a specific document or information. The following are the types of library classification schemes. Library of Congress Classification Scheme, LC. Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme. Universal Decimal Classification, UDC. Bliss Classification Scheme. Classification Scheme. UDC means Universal Decimal Classification. Most academic libraries use Library of Congress Classification Scheme. For example, National Open University of Nigeria, noun, library uses this scheme. Library of Congress classification scheme consists of 21 classes, AZ. The scheme is based on the collection of Library of Congress in United States. It was mixed notation. This means that it uses both letters and numbers. It also uses cutter numbers to further specify a document. Dash are special numbers given to individual authors, cutter numbers. Cutter numbers are special numbers given to individual authors. The notations and cutter numbers together form the class mark or call number of a book. Noun tutorial TV. Among the modern classification scheme, dash is the oldest, Dewey Decimal Classification, DDC. Among the modern classification scheme, Dewey Decimal Classification, DDC, is the oldest. DDC stands for H Dewey Decimal Classification. Each of these topics may be further divided into more specific subject areas. A decimal point is used after the first 3 digits to separate the specific subjects. For example, 612 human physiology can be further subdivided into 10 as follows. University Decimal Classification, UDC, is based on the 5th edition of Dewey Decimal Classification. DDC stands for University Decimal Classification. Noun tutorial TV. Bliss classification is also called bibliographic classification, BC. Bliss classification was devised by Henry Evelyn Bliss in 1935. Bliss classification was devised by Henry Evelyn Bliss. The colon classification, CC, has a set of main classes that are divided into facets. The classification has a set of main classes that are divided into facets, colon. Is the scheme mainly used in academic libraries. Library of Congress classification scheme. A library is an information service or a collection of electronic information resources in which all the information resources are available in computer form, digital. A is an information service or a collection of electronic information resources in which all the information resources are available in computer form, digital library. The manual performances of library functions were getting difficult because of the following reasons. Library holdings will continue to grow. Because of information explosion, the society is saddled with multifaceted and multidimensional information. Because of information explosion, library operations take many hours to perform manually. Accuracy is also lost while working manually due to information explosion. Now tutorial TV. Challenges for establishing digital libraries. Technological obsolescence of hardware and software. Digital libraries may have the problem of funding as cost of purchase and maintenance of equipment and resources is high. In a digital library, all the information resources are available in electronic form. Below are all disadvantages of traditional library system except one: easy access to information, anytime and anywhere. A is a structured organization of terms used to search a database, search strategy. A strategy is a structured organization of terms used to search a database, search. A search strategy is a organization of terms used to search a database, structured. A search strategy is a structured organization of terms used to search a database. A search strategy is a structured organization of terms used to a database, search. There are steps you must take in order to develop good study skills. Making and keeping a study schedule. Studying in an appropriate setting, same time, same place, every day. Equipping your study area with all the materials you need. Not relying on inspiration for motivation. Keeping a well-kept notebook improves grades. Taking good notes as insurance against forgetting. Overlearning material enhances memory. Studying in an appropriate setting means to study in a conducive environment like a library that is quiet, having good lightings, well ventilated, or with good air conditioners, and other facilities. SQ3R, which is a reading method, stand for S equals survey, Q equals question, first R equals read, second R equals recite, third 2 R equals review. For you to develop a good reaching habit, you have to practice the following. Improve your reading skills. Keep reading materials handy. Noun tutorial TV. Connect reading to your everyday life. Deciding what to read. Create a reading list. What do you look out for when you read for content? You look out for the main idea in every paragraph. Mention 5 ways of ensuring readiness for examination. Start studying early. Sort out your subject material. Find out about the exam. Review past exam papers. Know exam venue and time. Don't panic. Use your reading time wisely. Interpret your questions well. Review your answers. Most students get so stressed up whenever dash is approaching, exam. Dash can make all the difference when studying for exams, good notes. Dash are legal rights over creations of the mind, intellectual property rights. Dash law grants the author of an intellectual creation exclusive right for exploiting and benefiting from their creation, intellectual property rights. A legal framework that governs access to information enacted by the government of every country known as copyright. Legally gives the creator of a work the monopoly of controlling the distribution of his work, copyright. Is the right awarded to an author for being intellectually responsible for his work, copyright. The determines who adapts the work, author. Noun tutorial TV. The author determines who adapts the work. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include patents, books, artwork, trademark. In the world's first copyright law was enacted in England, known as Statute of N. 1710. The world's first copyright law was enacted in known as Statute of N. England. The world's first copyright law was enacted in England, known as Statute of N. Came up with the Copyright Act of 1790, United States. United States came up with the Copyright Act of 1790. The Convention brought world recognition of copyright law, Bern. There are basically 2 purposes for the copyright law, and economic and moral. Copyright does not prohibit all copying or replication, true. Intellectual property rights are legal rights over creations of the mind. Is any infringement upon the rights of a copyright holder, copyright infringement. Copyright infringement is a construct of the law, while plagiarism is a construct of ethics, true. Is defined as the taking of the original work or works of another and presenting it as your own, plagiarism. The key difference between plagiarism and copyright infringement is that not all plagiarisms are infringements and not all infringements are plagiarisms. Noun tutorial TV. Plagiarism is defined as the taking of the original work or works of another and presenting it as your own. A is a set of rules that instructs you on how to acknowledge the thoughts, ideas, and works of others in a way, referencing style. Unintentional can occur if you fail to reference correctly, plagiarism. Unintentional plagiarism can occur if you fail to dash correctly. Reference. The different types of referencing styles are: American Meteorological Society, AMS, style, APA referencing, Chicago styles, Harvard referencing, MHRA referencing, Oscola referencing, Oxford Standard for the Citation of Legal Authorities, Oxford referencing, and Vancouver, numeric, referencing. The two most common reference styles are dash, Harvard and APA styles. Dash referencing style is commonly used by students and researchers to cite information sources, Harvard. There are two parts to Harvard style, one in-text citations. This is used in the body of the work when quoting or paraphrasing a source. 2 reference lists. This is a comprehensive list of all citations with their full bibliographic information located at the end of every academic or research work. This is to enable readers. The general format for referencing, using Harvard style is as follows. Noun tutorial TV. Harvard referencing for books with one author. The Harvard format for referencing books with one author is. The general format for referencing, using Harvard style is dash, last name, first initial, year of publication, title, city, publisher, pages. Demonstrate using suitable example, Harvard style for referencing articles in print journal Bimber, B. 2000. Measuring the gender gap on the Internet. Social B Science Quarterly, 81, 3, pp 868 876. APA means dash, American Psychological Association. APA, American Psychological Association, citation style, which is an author data citation style, was developed mainly for use in psychology. The dash in text citing and referencing style is the most commonly used referencing style, APA. With proper dash you can completely avoid plagiarism, which makes you an astute scholar. Referencing. With proper referencing you can completely avoid dash, which makes you an astute scholar. Plagiarism. All references cited in the body of the work must also be included in the dash reference list. The dash should be arranged alphabetically by author's surname. Reference list. Noun tutorial TV. The reference list should be arranged alphabetically by dash surname, authors. The reference list should be arranged alphabetically by authors dash surname. Journal titles and book titles should be dash italicized. Dash and dash should be italicized, journal titles and book titles. Be consistent with your dash across the document. Referencing style. Be consistent with your referencing style across the dash document. All the references in the reference list must also be cited in the body of the work. True. All references cited in the body of the work must also be included in the reference list. True. URL is an acronym for dash, Universal Resource Locator. URLs can change unlike DOI, which is permanent. True. In a situation where dash is not available, use URL of the resource, DOI. In a situation where DOI is not available, use dash of the resource, URL. DOI is an acronym for dash, Digital Object Identifier. Dash is a permanent link to an online resource represented by a string of numbers and letters, DOI. DOI is a dash link to an online resource represented by a string of numbers and letters. Permanent. DOI is an acronym for Dash Object Identifier, Digital. DOI is an acronym for Digital Dash Identifier, Object. Noun tutorial TV. DOI is an acronym for Digital Object Dash Identifier. The following are general rules for referencing journals. 1. Do not write P before the page number. 2. Italicize the volume number and do not write vol before the volume number. 3. Include the issue number in a bracket if available and leave no space between the volume number and issue number. Never include issue numbers of journals that have continuous pagination. The following are general rules for referencing rules. 1. All the references in the reference list must also be cited in the body of the work. 2. All references cited in the body of the work must also be included in the reference list. 3. The reference list should be arranged alphabetically by author's surname. 4. Provide organization names in full, unless they are obviously recognizable as abbreviations. 5. For title/subtitle of an article or chapters in a book, capitalize only the first word. 6. Journal titles and book titles should be italicized. 7. Be consistent with your referencing style across the document. There are basically dash parts to APA author data style. 2. There are basically two parts to APA author data style, -n, the in-text author data citation and detailed reference list at the end of the document. APA stands for American Psychological Association. APA, American Psychological Association, citation style, which is an author data citation style, was developed mainly for use in psychology. Referencing style is most frequently used within the social sciences. APA, American Psychological Association. APA, American Psychological Association, referencing style is most frequently used within the social sciences. True. Referencing styles will help you to avoid infringement, which usually has severe consequences. Harvard style. The general format for referencing, using Harvard style is --, Noun tutorial TV. Last name, first initial. Year of publication. Title. City, publisher, pages. Are documents produced by local, state, or federal government/institutions, government publications. A dash is a lengthy paper or project written as a requirement for obtaining a doctoral degree, dissertation. Are academic papers presented at conferences that are yet to be published, conference proceedings. Is used in the body of the work when quoting or paraphrasing a source, in-text citations. Is a comprehensive list of all citations with their full bibliographic information located at the end of every academic or research work, reference lists. Is commonly used by students and researchers to cite information sources, Harvard referencing style. There are parts to Harvard style, too. There are two parts to Harvard style, and in-text citations and reference lists. A is a set of rules that instructs you on how to acknowledge the thoughts, ideas, and works of others in a way, referencing style. A referencing style is a set of rules that instructs you on how to acknowledge the thoughts, ideas, and works of others in a way. Unintentional can occur if you fail to reference correctly, plagiarism. Can occur if you fail to reference correctly, unintentional plagiarism. Unintentional plagiarism can occur if you fail to correctly reference. AMS stands for comma. Noun tutorial TV. American Meteorological Society. Oscola referencing stands for Oxford Standard for the citation of legal authorities. All forms of plagiarism should be avoided. True. Is defined as the taking of the original work or works of another and presenting it as your own, plagiarism. Plagiarism is defined as the taking of the original work or works of another and presenting it as your own. Generally, doesn't make an infringing action legal, attribution. The key difference between plagiarism and copyright infringement is that not all plagiarisms are infringements and not all infringements are plagiarisms. Plagiarism and copyright have a lot in common. True. Dash deals with creative or academic works, and these types of works, typically, qualify for copyright protection when they are new. Plagiarism. Plagiarism and copyright have a lot in common. True. Dash deals with creative or academic works, and these types of works, typically, qualify for copyright protection when they are new. Plagiarism. Dash contents posted online are often removed with takedown notices. Plagiarized. Plagiarized contents posted online are often removed with dash notices. Takedown. Dash plagiarisms in advertisements are often dealt with through lawsuits and so forth. Commercial. Dash is a construct of the law. Copyright infringement. Dash is a construct of ethics. Plagiarism. Copyright infringement is a construct of the law. Noun tutorial TV. Plagiarism is a construct of ethics. Anything that is seen as an unethical and unattributed use of another's original creation can be defined as plagiarism. Dash is any infringement upon the rights of a copyright holder. Copyright infringement. Dash gives a copyright holder, usually the creator of the work, a set of rights that they and they alone can exploit legally, save for exceptions such as fair use, copyright law. The violation of dash is a serious issue globally. Copyright. The violation of copyright is a serious issue globally. True. Intellectual property rights are legal rights over creations of the mind. The following are the factors to consider in fair use. The purpose and character of the use. The nature of the copyrighted work. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. The effect of the use upon the potential market for a value of the copyrighted work. The Copyright Act of permits some copying and distribution without permission of the copyright holder or payment to same, 1976. Tries to provide a balance between the interest of the author and that of the user. Copyright. Ensures that somehow, the public has some sort of access to a created product. Copyright. There are basically purposes for the copyright law. 2. There are basically two purposes for the copyright law. These are and moral, economic. Noun tutorial TV. There are basically two purposes for the copyright law. These are economic and moral. Looking at it from the point of view, copyright encourages creativity. Economic. Looking at it from the economic point of view, encourages creativity. Copyright. Looking at it from the economic point of view, copyright encourages creativity. From the perspective, copyright protects the integrity of the created work by giving the author the right to object to any distortion, mutilation, or other modifications which would be prejudicial to his honor or reputation. Moral. From the moral perspective, protects the integrity of the created work by giving the author the right to object to any distortion, mutilation, or other modifications which would be prejudicial to his honor or reputation. Copyright. Came up with the Copyright Act of 1790, United States. United States came up with the Copyright Act of 1790. The Berne Convention was introduced in the year 1886. In the world's first copyright law was enacted in England, known as Statute of N. 1710. In 1710, the world's first copyright law was enacted in known as Statute of N. England. In 1710, the world's first copyright law was enacted in England, known as Statute of N. The determines who adapts the work, author. Covered by copyright law include patents, books, artwork, and trademark, intellectual works. The author determines who adapts the dash dash comma. Noun tutorial TV. Work. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include books, artwork and trademark, patents. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include patents, dash dash, artwork and trademark, books. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include patents, books, and trademark, artwork. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include patents, books, artwork, and dash dash, trademark. Intellectual works covered by copyright law include dash dash, patents, books, artwork and trademark. Dash legally gives the creator of a work the monopoly of controlling the distribution of his work, copyright. Dash covers new, non-obvious, industrially applicable inventions, patents. Dash covers signs or symbols to identity goods and services, trademarks. Dash covers ornamental designs, industrial designs. Dash covers original layout design of microelectronics industry, topography of semiconductor product. Dash covers original work of authorship, copyright. Dash covers original work of authorship but in performing, broadcasting organizations, neighboring rights. Dash covers secret business information, trade secrets. Dash are legal rights over creations of the mind, intellectual property rights. Noun tutorial TV. Dash law grants the author of an intellectual creation exclusive right for exploiting and benefiting from their creation, intellectual property rights. The purpose of law is to stimulate creativity of human mind for the benefit of all by ensuring that the advantages accrued by using a creation benefit the creator, intellectual property rights. Generally, Dash gives you sufficient time to learn your course content and build self-confidence. Early preparation. Dash are special numbers given to individual authors, cutter numbers. Cutter numbers are special numbers given to individual dash dash, authors. Library of Congress classification scheme consists of dash classes, 21. A dash is a file of cards usually in catalog cabinet showing the users the library's collections, card catalog. Artifacts are examples of what type of information? Primary. Why is a marriage certificate a primary source of information? Because it serves as a pointer/directory to other works. Why are users advised to leave consulted books on the table? To prevent misshelving of books. The best way to retrieve a particular book you need in a library is dash dash, to check the library catalog. A referral service can be best described as dash dash, the act of directing users to an alternative source of information if such information is not available in their own library. A reference service can be best described as dash dash, the personal assistance given by a librarian to library users in search of information for whatever purpose. Which of the options is an example of a directional question? Quest for a specific location in the library? Noun tutorial TV. Which of the options best describes a research/special library? It provides specialized information to an identified group of users with common interest. What does LC cutter number represent? Author's number. What type of notation does the Library of Congress use? Alphanumeric. What classification scheme is most suitable for academic libraries? Library of Congress Classification Scheme, LC. Human error is a major disadvantage of dash dash, a card catalog. Which of the options is incorrect of an OPAC? It can be accessed in the remote villages where there is neither electricity nor pipe-borne water. Which of the options is incorrect of a microform catalog? Students find it easy to use. Which of the options is incorrect of a card catalog? It is compact and can be easily carried to anywhere within the library. One of the options is incorrect of a book catalog -- book catalog can be accessed from any location. One of the options is not true of open educational resources, or -- nobody paid for open educational resources. What is hybrid open access journals? They are subscription-based journals in which some of the articles offer open access. Agora is a database largely used by what type of students? Agricultural. What are green access journals? They are journals that have a period of time when access to published content is temporarily restricted. What are gold access journals? They are journals that provide worldwide, barrier-free access to the full text of articles online. Noun Tutorial TV. Two examples of general library services are -- lending services and current awareness services. Vertical files kept by reference librarians are -- files that contain record of users' queries. A card catalog can be best described as -- a file of cards in a catalog cabinet that show users the library's collections. Literature review is important because -- it can assist the researcher in choosing an appropriate research topic, formulate reliable hypotheses, and in designing appropriate research methodology. Below are some important questions you must bear in mind when reviewing literature. Except, what would be the outcome of my research? Why do you need a citation manager? To format citations for my papers and bibliographies using any referencing style. The process of skimming through retrieved articles in order to group them into topics and subtopics is known as -- analyzing the literature. The process of integrating all key details of the literature at the same time communicating your point of view in a clear and cohesive manner is known as -- writing the review. Copyright covers the following issues regarding intellectual work except -- health. In sorting out your subject materials in preparation for your study, you may do the following except -- wait until very close to exams to avoid forgetting all you've read. Information explosion ushered in the following challenges except -- slowing down of research activities. The following are all types of classification schemes except -- opaque. Class marks are better placed at what part of every book? The spine. Library classification is important for the following except, to keep librarians redundant. Noun Tutorial TV. The referencing style used in the example below is -- Okpala, A.E. and Igbeka, J.U., 2005. Analysis of users' searches of CD-ROM databases in Kenneth Dyke Library. The Electronic Library, 23, 362 to 368, APA. Patents can be best described as -- new inventions. All references cited in the body of work should not necessarily be included in the reference list. False. A referencing style is a set of rules that instructs you on how to - the thoughts, ideas, and works of others in a particular way. Acknowledge. Not all plagiarisms are copyright infringements and not all copyright infringements are plagiarisms. True. The concept of fair use is not clearly defined in the statute. True. The legal framework that covers original work of authorship is known as -- copyright. You have not plagiarized if you carefully acknowledge all your sources of information and have not copied verbatim except for well-acknowledged short quotations. True. In preparing for examination, it is advisable to first familiarize yourself with past questions before reading your course materials. False. Reading is more productive when done at any time and anywhere. False. Overlearning of your course materials can lead to a mental breakdown. False. Reading for content helps you to grasp the - in a write-up, main ideas. The second R in SQ3R stands for -- recite. Noun Tutorial TV. Dash formulated the laws of library science as follows: books are for use. Every reader his book. Every book its reader. Save the time of the reader. Save the time of the stay. Library is a growing organization. S.Aranganathan. The third R in SQ3R stands for -- review. Online catalogs provide links to other catalogs. True. What symbol should appear in the gap in the word organization if you are to capture the variable characters S or Z in your search? Hashtag. A Boolean operator is a -- search technique. The very first step to take in constructing a search strategy is to define your -- topic. Digital libraries offer greater user satisfaction. True. You are likely to find -- catalog in a digital library, opaque. The universal decimal classification is based on -- decimal classification, Dewey. The main classes of Dewey Decimal Classification is divided into -- 10. Dewey Decimal Classification uses -- notation, pure. The LC main class for education is -- L. The LC main class for social sciences is -- H. Noun Tutorial TV. In APA referencing of journals, what punctuation mark should come after page number? S. -- full stop. In APA referencing of journal, the volume number should be italicized. True. As a general rule, in APA referencing of journal articles, all the journal titles must be italicized. True. The punctuation mark after year of publication in APA referencing of journal articles is -- full stop. As a general rule, in APA referencing, organization names must never be provided in full. False. All the features for referencing articles in print must not be included where available for articles found in database or website. False. In Harvard referencing for articles in database or website, it is not compulsory to include the website URL and the date article was accessed. False. In Harvard referencing of ebooks, edition statement should always be included, even if it's the first edition. True. When referencing sources with 2 or more authors, place the names in the exact order in which they appear on the text. True. An academic library is -- library of academic institutions such as universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. What type of classification scheme is commonly used in academic library? Library of Congress Classification Scheme, LC. Identity: the kind of library that usually engages in repackaging of information using audiovisual materials and indigenous languages to render information services to the illiterate class. Public library. Noun Tutorial TV. Which section of the library is responsible for charging and discharging of library resources? Circulation section. Journal articles of original contents are examples of primary sources of information. Literature identification is a step in literature review when -- the researcher gets familiarized with resources, print or electronic, primary, secondary, or tertiary resources, that will be relevant to the research topic. One major disadvantage of microform catalog is that of -- flexibility and currency. Digital libraries can help to solve the following problems except -- loss of library materials through theft. What classification scheme has its language class merged with literature class? UDC. One of the options is not true of open educational resources, or -- nobody paid for open educational resources. The main class for science in LC is -- Q. What classification scheme employs decimals for specificity? Dewey Classification Scheme. The 35 main classes of Bliss classification scheme consist of numerical and alphabetical classes. 9, 26. What does LC Cutter number represent? Class mark. Digital libraries interface design should be all of the following except highly sophisticated. What is the main class of generalities in Dewey Decimal Classification? 000 literature review is important because it can assist the researcher in choosing an appropriate research topic, formulate reliable hypotheses and in designing appropriate research methodology. Noun Tutorial TV. I receive on monthly basis list of all new arrivals in my field from my library. This service is known as Current Awareness Services, CA. What period should a typical review cover? Last 5 years. Which of these databases contain mainly agricultural resources? Agora. What does the acronym SDI stand for? Selective dissemination of information. Below are the 3 major components of open educational resources except teaching content. Mr. Kolawola just published a book and by compulsion needed to deposit 3 copies of his books in a library. What type of library plays this role? National Library. A referral service can be best described as the act of directing users to an alternative source of information if such information is not available in their own library. The acronym OPEN stands for Open Access Publishing in European Networks. The acronym DOAJ stands for Directory of Open Access Journals. What does the acronym OARE stand for? Online Access to Research in the Environment. What is the first daily task of the Circulation Department? Shelving of all books consulted by library users the previous day. The staff responsible for taking statistics of the books consulted by users is circulation staff. The major source of funding of public libraries is public taxes. The basic difference between a public library and other types of libraries is that the main aim of public library is to provide the information needs of general public. Noun Tutorial TV. When a reader asks a specific question relating to the use of library materials in the reference sections, this type of query is known as quick reference question. Research outcomes and results from original research work fall into sources of information, primary. Below are the 3 major components of open educational resources except teaching content. Journals have the following types of access except classified. Below are open access journals in humanities except organic synth essays. Below are open access journals in education except West African Journal of Education. Below are open access journals in economics except logical methods in economics. Below are examples of institutional repository except open engineering. The main class for science in LC is Q. The main class for religion in Dewey Decimal Classification is 200. What is used to further divide subjects into more specific subject areas in Dewey Classification? Decimal point, dot. What type of catalog is very sensitive in spelling and may retrieve different information due to error? Online catalog. What classification scheme has its language class merged with literature class? UDC. What classification scheme was purposely designed to help remove the shortcomings observed in Class K law, in the Library of Congress classification scheme? Noun Tutorial TV. Moya. The fact that copies of information on the net can be speedily delivered to users on demand has helped to remove the challenge of geographical distance to information. Digital libraries can help to solve the following problems except information explosion. Digital libraries interface design should be all of the following except highly sophisticated. How often should you keep to your study schedule? Daily. In order to improve your grades, you are advised to do the following except cram. In order to study without interruption, you have to equip your study area with the following materials except musical equipment. The process of reading questions at the beginning/end of the chapters or after each subheading in SQ3R is known as questioning. In order to connect reading to your everyday life, you have to engage in the following except read only when you feel like. There are grievous penalties upon any infringement on the following except fair use. In what year was the world's first copyright law, Statute of N, enacted in England? 1710. What was the main purpose of the Berne Convention in 1886? To provide mutual recognition of copyright between nation-states. The acronym AMS in referencing style stands for American Meteorological Society. The acronym OSCOLA in referencing style stands for Oxford Standard for the Citation of Legal Authorities. Noun Tutorial TV. Where is the reference list of every academic/research work located? At the end. Where multiple sources are used by same author, citations are listed in order by the date of publication. In referencing a book, what punctuation mark is used after the place of publication? : smiley face. The librarian at the section of the library is responsible for charging and discharging of library resources, circulation. Only registered library users are allowed to borrow books and other library resources, true. Potential library users are required to before being permitted to use the library, register. Before you are allowed to go home with a borrowed book from the library, it must be stamped with stamp, date due. A fine is usually charged per day for overdue books, true. In order to know what book to borrow, the user may check the various catalogs, which could be manual or electronic, true. The mark indicates the location of the book on the shelf, class. A borrowed book can be renewed if such book is not on reserve, true. Academic libraries are under a board to serve the public, false. Public libraries provide basic services for a fee, false. Public libraries support both individual and self-conducted education as well as formal education at all levels, true. Noun Tutorial TV. Quick reference questions are everyday questions that readers regularly ask reference librarians, true. Quick reference questions are not easily answered by mere consultation of specific reference source, such as almanacs, biographies, yearbooks, dictionaries, false. Search questions cannot be met by one single reference source in the library, true. Research questions do not require comprehensive reference sources, false. Vertical files usually contain sources of miscellaneous information, true. It is not necessary to keep records of users' queries, false. Current Awareness Service is a personalized library service, false. Resource sharing and collaboration is one of the new trends in librarianship, true. All libraries should be able to meet the information needs of all its users at all times, false. Heavily used materials stand the risk of being stolen or if kept on open shelves, mutilated. Research and information need of users of special libraries are fairly homogeneous, true. Information is being generated and transmitted by individuals on daily basis, true. Document titles and abstracts cannot help you find good descriptors when searching through literature, false. A database may be dedicated to a single subject or cover several subjects. True. In a card catalog, cards for new materials can be added quickly and cards for those items no longer in the collection can be easily removed. True. Noun tutorial TV. The card catalog is not easy to use. False. The card catalog is not alphabetical arrangement. False. Misfiling and misshelving may not necessarily cause problems in the library. False. Expensive equipment is required for users to have access and use microform catalog. True. With an online catalog, users can retrieve in a variety of ways. Information. Training is needed for the users to optimally use online catalog. True. The purpose of library classification is to provide a comprehensive view of the documents on a given subject. True. The basic aim of librarianship is to bring the user in contact with a specific document or information. True. Dash is the main class for technology in Dewey Decimal Classification, 600. Agora is a database largely used by agricultural students. What is hybrid open access journals? They are journals that have a period of time when access to published content is temporarily restricted. One of the options is not true of open educational resources, or nobody paid for open educational resources. Library catalog can be best described as collation of all bibliographic details of all library resources. Human error is a major disadvantage of a card catalog. What classification scheme is most suitable for academic libraries? Library of Congress Classification Scheme, LC. What type of notation does the Library of Congress use? Noun tutorial TV. Alphanumeric. What does LC cutter number represent? Author's number. A card catalog can be best described as a file of cards in a catalog cabinet that show users the library's collections. Survey in SQ3R means to skim through a piece of writing to establish its purpose and get the main ideas. Which of the options best describes a national library? A library that acts as the legal depository and bibliographic center of the nation. Which of the options is not a function of an academic library? Issuance of International Standard Book Number, ISBN, and International Standard Serial Number, ISSN. The LC main class for social sciences is H. A Boolean operator is a search technique. Online catalogs provide links to other catalogs. True. The three main access points are author and title, subject. The three main access points are subject and title, author. The three main access points are subject, author and title. You must not rely on for your self-motivation, inspiration. The third R in SQ3R stands for review. The second R in SQ3R stands for recite. Reading for content helps you to grasp the in a write-up, main ideas. Noun tutorial TV. The LC main class for education is L. Overlearning of your course materials can lead to a mental breakdown. False. Reading is more productive when done at any time and anywhere. False. According to psychologist, leads to internalization of learning, overlearning. In preparing for examination, it is advisable to first familiarize yourself with past questions before reading your course materials. False. You have not plagiarized if you carefully acknowledge all your sources of information and have not copied verbatim except for well-acknowledged short quotations. True. The legal framework that covers original work of authorship is known as copyright. The concept of fair use is not clearly defined in the statute. True. Not all plagiarisms are copyright infringements and not all copyright infringements are plagiarisms. True. A referencing style is a set of rules that instructs you on how to dash the thoughts, ideas, and works of others in a particular way. Acknowledge. As a general rule, not all references cited in the body of the work should be included in the reference list. False. Dewey Decimal Classification uses dash notation. Pure. Noun Tutorial TB.